Once upon a time, in the quaint town of Madison, there lay a place of supposed higher learning, Drew University, which, in my most humble and yet utterly correct opinion, was nothing short of a mockery of education and human decency. I arrived on its campus, a young maiden of exquisite taste and unparalleled intellect, expecting to find a sanctuary of enlightenment. Instead, I was greeted by a facade of prestige, hiding beneath it a cesspool of administrative incompetence and a stark lack of empathy for the plight of us students. Oh, the campus was beautiful indeed, like a sleeping princess, awaiting her true love's kiss to awaken her from her slumber. But alas, the beauty was only skin deep, for the housing staff, those guardians of our temporary abodes, were nothing but tactless brutes, devoid of even a shred of professional courtesy. I recall a delicate matter, a heartache of mine, which I foolishly entrusted to their care. The response I received was akin to being stabbed with a blunt dagger, their words cold and sharp, lacking even the most basic of human understandings. I see what you mean, or I understand it may look that way, or regrettably, no, such civilized phrases were alien to their tongues. Instead, they uttered a mere couple of curt sentences, conveying naught but disdain and finality. Jure wrong, and jure doomed. How unprofessional, how utterly devoid of the most basic human decency. And lo, the housing conditions were a reflection of their keeper's soul stank, dreary and depressing. The walls, once vibrant, now bore the stains of neglect, peeling paint, whispering tales of better days. The rooms, which we paid for in the currency of our dreams, were cramped and cheerless, as if designed to suffocate rather than nurture the mind and spirit. The general condition of our domiciles was a testament to the university's disregard for our comfort, our sanctuary from the rigors of academia. But let us not forget the food. Oh, the food. A culinary disaster that would make even the most stoic of souls weep. Each meal was a gamble, a cruel game where the odds were forever in favor of dissatisfaction. The taste, a bland impersonation of what food ought to be, was an affront to the palate. The texture, often akin to the chewing of cardboard, left much to be desired. The temperature, a lukewarm reminder of our lukewarm welcome, was never quite right. The smell, a mishmash of aromas that fought for dominance, yet none emerged victorious. And the appearance, my dear friends, was a sight that could sour the sweetest of tempers. How can one expect to learn, to grow, when their very sustenance is in question? Now behold the staff, the supposed vanguards of our educational experience. Their service, if one could dare call it such, was lacking in every conceivable manner. Their behavior, a masterclass in apathy, left us feeling more akin to inconvenient interruptions than valued patrons of knowledge. Their timing, a chaotic dance where urgency and lethargy waltzed in a most disconcerting fashion. And their body language, oh, how it screamed volumes of their disinterest, their arms crossed like the gates of a fortress, barring entry to any semblance of customer satisfaction. The administration, those puppeteers pulling the strings from their lofty towers, were completely unhelpful, more concerned with appearances than with the well-being of their charges. Tuition, a king's ransom, was extracted from our coffers. Yet the return on investment was akin to paying for a grand banquet, and receiving a single stale crumb in return. The community, a forced and cliquey affair, was as welcoming as a fortress with its drawbridges raised. The lack of diversity in both students and faculty created a homogeneous environment that stifled rather than stimulated the free exchange of ideas. And let us not forget the dorms. I am looking into crimes near Drew University, Madison. You know, it's like this whole area is full of students and tourists, and you think it's safe. But honestly, it's not. Businesses near Drew University, Madison are like super tricky, you know. Like, they try to scam you for charity donations. I am talking about those scammers who posed as charity workers outside major grocery store chains like Major and Aldi. They approach you, telling you some sad story about a child in Chicago, and ask for your cell phone and credit card to process a donation. Can you believe it? Like, who does that? And the worst part is, they almost got away with it. One woman almost lost $5,000, but luckily, she reversed the charge in time. I am like, what if she hadn't? What if she had lost all that money? It's just so sad, and the police still haven't caught them, you know. Like, they were just walking free, scamming people left and right. And then there are businesses near Drew University, Madison, that are like super official looking, but still try to scam you. Like this email scam that looked like it came from the Marquette County Zoning Department. They used real employee names and the official county seal, telling people they owed money for fees. It was so convincing. Even the sheriff's office warned people about it. I am like, how could they do that? They have any conscience? And I am guessing the people who got scammed were probably like, oh, I need to pay this. And then they lose their money. It's just so wrong. And have you heard about those banks spoofing and fraudulent in-store transactions? Like, scammers would spoof local bank phone numbers, impersonate bank staff, and pressure people to give them personal info or do transactions while at the bank branch. It's like, how could they be so heartless? I am guessing the victims were probably like, oh, this must be legit. And then they lose their money. And the worst part is, this is happening right near Drew University, Madison, where people are just trying to have a good time. It's just like so sad.
The businesses near Drew University in Madison are frankly a mess, overpriced, inconsistent, and often shockingly mismanaged. If you're expecting polished professional service, lower those expectations now. Let's start with the shopping experience. The Mall at Short Hills is the kind of place where luxury meets dysfunction. Shoppers report being openly judged for their outfits, like some bizarre fashion tribunal run by strangers. One woman walked in with mismatched shoes after a heel broke, only to be met with visible disgust from other patrons. High-end, more like high-strung. Then there's the baffling lack of basic amenities. No snack kiosks despite the sprawling floors. If you're thirsty, prepare for a trek. And don't expect help from staff. Apple Store employees here apparently talk customers out of buying iPhones just to leave early. Construction chaos, misleading closing times, and a Santa experience so poorly run it made children cry. This mall is less a retail paradise and more a cautionary tale. Now, spas should be sanctuaries. Sojo Spa Club is not that. Imagine paying hundreds for relaxation, only to be treated like a nuisance. Staff here have a reputation for attitude, dirty looks, snapping at questions, even singling out couples for harmless affection while ignoring others. Hygiene, questionable. Fungal infections are a genuine concern, with guests walking barefoot everywhere. Towels are tiny, robes arrive with someone else's hair on them, and the infinity pool view is a sliver of Manhattan if you squint just right. Birthdays are ruined here regularly, reservations ignored, valets cracking windshields, and managers who vanish when complaints arise. For a place that markets tranquility, it's a masterclass in stress. Dining options. Shanghai Jazz Restaurant Bar is where hopes for a nice meal go to die. Reservations mean nothing. You'll still wait half an hour for a table, then another hour for cold, misassembled food. The Jazz is fine, but the kitchen operates like a sad microwave experiment. Tuna arrives solo, no sides, no sauce. Salmon is dry, mushrooms soggy, and the oil in the fryer might be older than the menu. Servers disappear mid-meal and owners shrug at complaints. They'll still charge you $100 per person for the privilege of disappointment. Breakfast spots aren't safe either. Butter jam is where patience goes to wither. Waiting 15 minutes just to order, only to get rushed out by staff who hover like you're trespassing. Food arrives cold, eggs runny, and allergy requests, like no nuts, are ignored. One Mother's Day